I find it real interesting that, real funny. I find it real funny that, you know when a black woman says she finds something real funny, she don't find it funny. But I do find it interesting that we celebrate gender before we even know a child's name. And in this day and age, are you still throwing gender? Shout out to the people still throwing gender reveal parties. Because you are going against the new paradigm of you can choose your own gender at any age. At birth, you can say, you know what? I don't really want to be this gender no more. I'm going to change it. Now, I want to get into some heavy topics. I'm going to be talking about a video I posted some time ago that YouTube took down because it said it had violent content. But I searched on, if you watch my part 1 of this video, I talked about some of the content that they took down that they said was violent content because I was comparing the cross to lynchings. And it's important to have that discussion because, as you know, I like to talk about the etymology of things and how we got to where we are today. These are heavy topics. They are hot topics, but I want them to be light and not just, coming at you. So I'm talking about cultural conditioning and emotional survival, sexual silence, and how all these things are connected, rooted to the same tree or the same, they say the apple don't fall from the tree. These apples are all from the same tree. And I feel like exploring the roots definitely is an act of the performance of care. The emotional survival that inspired me to write and release art like the lyrics for Fuck My Boss. That Me Too wave, yeah, me too. I was tired of being sexually assaulted by my coworkers, by my supervisors, people that were my coworkers and then became my supervisor and still was, in a position to have access to harass me. And if that is what the culture is like now, with all these laws in place, we have all these sexual harassment laws in place, and still you are able to impose your desires on people in the workplace. If you're still able to have this sexual harassment culture now with all these laws, damn, I really, really feel bad for our ancestors that were, the black women that were in slavery with the slave. White men, they love them some black women, okay? They could pretend like they don't, but sitting behind their desk in their little office, they love them some black women. And when you get along with them, they will show that. They true demons do come out. So I'm thinking about the time we are in now and how they're really secretive about their attraction and their assertiveness towards us in privacy. And then back then, I'm like, oh my goodness, what our ancestors must have went through with those men having access to them and there being no boundaries, no jurisdiction, no laws. Damn, when you think about it, damn. And so that's the deep-rooted things, the deep-rooted trauma that's in our bloodline that we have to break that generational cycle of trauma, I want to say. It's still existence. It's just more quiet now. It's more subtle now. It's a little bit more covered up now. But it's there. I feel you. Me too. So I wasn't trying to incite emotional violence. I'm just telling a story of how I got to where I am now and the process, the unpacking. Something I noticed, my husband came back from a trip months ago, but they say women take a while to unpack when they come back from a trip, but his stuff was still in his bag months later. I had to come home and unpack his stuff basically. And I feel like that's how we move about in life, that we come back from an experience and we don't unpack it. We let it sit and fester. So I put my experiences into music, into songs. So songs like Fuck My Boss and how it helped me to release pain and hurt, to get to the humor. Like, Kevin Hart says, laugh at my pain. because this is how I became Erika the Conqueror, conquering my emotions through humor. So no longer loving the cage, but freeing myself from it and looking at the aftermath of what was left inside the cage. These mental things felt like bondage, BDSM. A comedian joked once that black people don't do stuff like that. Yeah, nah. I'm not about to let nobody put me in bondage. No white dude especially, or anyone for that matter, is about to put me in bondage. But, you know, if that's your kink, if that's your thing, I'll play a little game. I'll put you in bondage. Like Janet said, she said, oh no, wait. So you doing the bending? Yes, I am the madam. And that has taught me to take my power back, to take back control of how these experiences have affected me and how to protect myself from people living in their own hell, as opposed to being a victim to what they created for themselves, because hell is something that you create for yourself. I try to be the light to show them that, you know, you don't gotta live like that, right? You know, you don't gotta live like that, right? You know, everything that I'm remodeling my kitchen, I'm remodeling my house, and at the same time, I'm remodeling my life. And these topics that were removed, you know, I feel like I couldn't move on to the next chapter in my life until I fixed what they removed. Because this is an important subject. These are important subjects for me because, you know, they say knowing where you came from is how you know where you're going. If you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. But for me, knowing where the root is, that's how you know where to pull the weeds so they don't grow back. Unless you smoke weed, you want that to grow back. But now, I call what black people are going through in America, well, actually the diaspora, and I called it the battered black people syndrome. Looking back at it, maybe it was a little bit clinical or reducing. So now I'm titling, that's why I'm now titling this, Still Loving the Cage. You still loving the cage? Let me give you some background. Stockholm syndrome is a clinical term. It's basically like the aftermath of what a victim, actually when they're even still in kidnapping, when they're still under the kidnapper's grasp, they start to befriend the kidnapper or sympathize with the kidnapper. And I related this in two ways. Slavery. I want to say marrying white folk, but I don't want to be insensitive. But marriage, period, is a business, right? Okay, I'll get into that. Adopting the religion of the God created by your oppressor. These people created this God, this false image of God, which they use to formulate self-hate and idol worship, which is the very thing that is a sin that you should not do for obvious reasons, because loving something outside of yourself is self-hate. The very thing the Bible warns you not to do, you are doing it. How can you? As I mentioned in part 1, that man ain't Jesus. That man is not God. He's praying to God. He's looking up to God. He's not God. He prays in the Bible to God. So all of this is idol worship. Loving something outside of yourself, an image you cannot even identify with, that is idol worship. No, you don't. I mean, you see white people secretively bowing down to the black icons of Jesus. but they'll never show you in public. Why? Because they don't want you to like yourself. Why? Ask yourself that. Why don't they want you? Why don't you want me to like myself? Why? How does that impact you if I don't acknowledge who I am? Where did they get the concept of the cross? These folk who put these books together, they are the original scammers, bro. Y'all are the original scammers. Like, well played. They're, helping you look for truth that they stole. And the fact that they still will not tell you the truth, that is a part of, that's why I say we are still in mental slavery. You are still in bondage if you haven't found the truth for yourself. And the fact that you are accessory to that by not telling the truth, and you know the truth, you're an accessory. I don't want to be an accessory. That's why I'm constantly like, I don't care how many times y'all take my video down, how many times y'all block me out, I'm still going to tell the truth because I don't want to be an accessory. The truth is not in that Bible that they put together. They left out a lot intentionally. It's like when you lose something, and then they say when you lose something, a black person will be the first one that will help you find something that they took. They stole something from you, and they'll be like, oh, did you leave it over there? Like, did you check here? Did you check it? And meanwhile, they the main one who stole it. Like, come on now. You stole my shit. You helping me look for it. What the hell? And that's how these people are. You are teaching me something in school, but you are not teaching me the thing. You understand? You are doing the bare minimum, saying, well, I told him. I tried to show him. Did you? And when you think about where they learn all of this, where pastors and preachers and evangelists and all these different religious scholars learn their context from, you are learning it from the same people who will oppress you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I want to have laughter here, but not to dismiss the pain, but to soften it, to breathe through it, and to remind us that even in our most tangled moments, our bodies and spirits are trying to tell us something, are trying to protect us. They say marriage is a business, right? But what the hell was I, an employee? Because I felt like I was often in customer service in my own marriage. I'm in constant, you are a servant in your marriage. I get it. If it's two ways, but I felt like I was in. Before I move on, I want to usher you to check out my playlist, my archive playlist. I just have some topics about how the cross is connected to lynchings, how India and Africa are related as far as yoga and the third eye and your chakras and all those things, a lot of the similarities, and why they removed color from prominent figures like Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, etc. And colorism, and how those things affect us moving forward as a people, affect you moving forward as a people, because I ain't waiting for y'all. I used to say I love hard, but then I saw this comedian, he said, watch out for people who say they love hard, because that was just crazy. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. But I do believe I was like a real lover girl, hopeless romantic, right? It turns out I was just very consistent, very polite, very available. I was married for, I think, 8 years or so. And I didn't even have my first orgasm until I was like 35. I mentioned this in some previous videos. And that means for nearly a decade, I thought sex was just a wellness check for my spouse's ego. I thought pleasure was optional. Like, you know, seat warmers. Nice if you have them, but they're not really necessary. Like, that's what I thought about pleasure. Like, oh, it's nice if you can experience pleasure, but I don't, maybe I'm not deserving, or you don't need pleasure. Not knowing that pleasure is actually a necessity for your well-being. It's the wholeness, the whole wellness perspective. You need pleasure. And I really believe that my role was to be encouraging, like, good job, babe. You tried. Gold star. Thumbs up. And the crazy part is it wasn't even like I wasn't love drunk delusional. I was in training. I was in constant training. I was raised to be the kind of woman who says, how can I help you? How can I serve you? Because I was raised in the church. It's okay. I understand. Even when my spirit was constantly filing a complaint, like, nah, we not living like this. Hello, what are you doing? You want to live like your mama? No, we not doing that. I call it the nice black girl complex. It's crazy because they say angry black woman, but then there's also the other side, the nice black girl complex, where we overcompensate our niceness to not make you feel uncomfortable. Where you are so committed to being graceful, you start babysitting the person harming you, being kind to your oppressor. Your employer. I'd be emotionally wounded and still be cooking for him, like, you okay? You stressed? You need some tea? And that's what black folk do for their kidnappers. Well, the descendants of the kidnappers. Well, those people who reap the benefits of the kidnappings and human trafficking, y'all still reaping the benefits of it. So I look at you as an accessory. And like I said, I don't want to be an accessory. I wasn't in a relationship. I was in a business, bro. America is a corporation. I'm sure you've heard that before. But are you a partner or are you an employee? In your marriage or relationship, are you a partner or are you an employee? Are you in servitude or is it a balanced system? And don't get me wrong, I cared deeply about anyone I'm in a relationship with, but let's be honest. I was loyal to the idea of love, not the reality of what love is. Because nobody tells you that sometimes you stay not because you're weak, but because you're hopeful, you're spiritual, you're empathetic, and probably a little bit confused. You're a little bit confused. You probably just got a little bit like, should I? There's this song, like, there are a lot of songs that I think we can relate to that mention, like, I don't know if I should leave or go. I don't know if I should stay. Like, you are confused, oh. And I think it says in the Bible that God does operate in the midst of confusion. So I just don't understand the contradiction there. Like, oh, pray for your marriage, pray for your marriage. But yes, you are confused. Oh, pray for your job, but you are confused. Should I stay in the job or should I look for another one? Like, look for another one. They don't teach you how to leave when you made your kindness your whole personality. Like, I'm going to be kind because I don't want people to think that I'm an angry black woman. So you overcompensate. But then one day, I saw this billboard and I think I was traveling to Sacramento and somewhere in California, and it said, life is short, have an affair. And that shit stuck to me, bro. And I was like, and I did. And I'm not encouraging in any way for you to step out in your marriage or anything. I wish I didn't have, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I just left when I wanted to leave in the first place. But I let him convince me to stay and that it was going to get better, and it did. So I remarried. I've been there, done that, the whole affair thing, got the t-shirt. So, but after that affair, I actually felt pleasure, like real pleasure. And not because of the person I had the affair with, not because of the affair, but because I freed myself from the fear of not knowing if I could make it if I were to leave. And because he said something, I'm hungry. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm hungry. He said something to me like, who gonna love you the way I do? And I was like, God. At the time, like, that's what I was thinking, like, not you. And that's the point. I don't want nobody to love me like this. I want to be truly loved, like, the way I deserve. Better than I deserve. Because sometimes we don't think we deserve the best, and we do. So even me in this current position, I'm probably not even being loved properly or loved how I deserve to be loved, because I have it in my mindset that I deserve this moment that I'm in, and I'm trying to fix that. I don't deserve some of the treatment that I get. Not in my relationship. I mean, in my dealings with people I am building, I'm networking with. You may have seen that I mentioned before, I'll call up a company and see like how we can work together. And instead of them working with me, they take the concept and use it for themselves. That's not, I don't want to be treated, I don't want to be loved like that. I don't want to be treated like that. Being with a narcissist for so long will make you pick yourself apart. Even as I'm watching this video, I'm like, oh, you can see like my grill, and I'm like, it's late, and so I haven't brushed my teeth yet. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just coming up. I'm just wrapping this editing up, and I'm like, nah, I'm picking myself apart, and I need to share that part of me that I had some dental work done, and so I'm thinking, oh, I need to tell them I had dental work done so they don't be judging me, because I judge myself enough. I don't need you to judge me. About my teeth, and half of y'all ain't even been to the dentist. I'm in the process. It's a process. If you've been to the dentist before, you know it's a process that you have to wait a few months before they can put an implant in, or before they can remove something, or like you have to wait for something to heal, or maybe because I have an illness or something, they can't do a procedure. Like, you don't know what the issue is while you over there judging. Like, ugh. So humor in the aftermath. You ever look back on a relationship and realize that wasn't love? Maybe it was just practice. Because I didn't even know I could climax. I didn't even know what climax was. Like, you are older than me. You are supposed to be the one teaching me these things. And rather, I had to learn it by stepping out of my marriage or reading books, Kama Sutra books and things like that. I thought sex was just community service. Like, I was volunteering my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Like they say at Chick-fil-A, my pleasure. Is it really your pleasure? No, seriously, do you really enjoy this? I kept saying, it's fine, I'm okay, it's fine. And honestly, I wasn't in love. I was in customer service. Welcome to the cage. Please hold. Smile on. Trauma on hold. Press 1 to forgive. Press 2 to forgive them again. Press 2 to forgive them. Like, don't get me wrong. Forgiveness is a major part of the healing process. And I understand, I never really understood that whole forgiveness is not for them, but for you, until I heard this quote. I think it was something like, don't poison your enemy because you gonna be the one that ends up in jail or something. Wait. No, wait. It's unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. That's yeah, that's what it is. Like, you're basically the only one hurting from the unforgiveness. They don't care, which is why I wrote Paranoia, because never giving up, just stop giving a fuck. I don't need no luck, I have paranoia. And so I hate taking up space in my phone for evidence and proof of what someone did to me or how a company mistreated me, because I would rather be using that space for good things, you know, all the good things. But I went to this concert once, and this girl, her husband was her backup singer, and he also was playing the guitar for her in background. And he made a statement that he doesn't mind singing about her exes, because all her songs were about her exes, and most of my songs are about my experiences with people that my exes. I don't even like to give them a title. So you're so irrelevant. I don't even like to give you a title. The only thing that you did for my life is help me find better and help me know that, nah, you deserve better than this. But he talks about how her experiences with her exes making them rich. So he don't mind like singing and rapping about them, or singing and playing the guitar about them, because he like, that shit making me rich. I don't care. And that's how I feel. I turn this shit into the riches. Like, there's a wave of people saying, oh, we shouldn't say the N-word anymore. I'm saying we shouldn't say nigga no more. But I feel like what was once used to demoralize us, look at how it's turned out in favor for us. Like, look how much money we make off that. Movies, music, and everything you listen to. People are buying that shit up, okay? And it hits the bank account different. It hits the bank account quite nicely. So I'm going to continue to say it, because what you meant for my harm, I'm using it for my good. I'm turning my pain into wealth. That's the wild part. That's why I still love the cage, because that's where I keep my pain, and that's where I catapulted my wealth. The cage. I polished it. I defended it. Told people, he's not like that. He just had a hard childhood. Defended the employer. Oh, at least they pay us now. At least they don't beat us no more. I mistook survival for devotion, silence for peace, pain for passion. You ever did that? I'm hoping that sharing my story makes other women laugh and breathe through it and question what she's really willing to tolerate. My delayed orgasm was for the culture. A win is a win. In sharing my unlearning the romance of struggle, you laugh with me. That you find some humor in this, but you find your truth and it helps you. And now this. I posted this video separately, but it's about 4 a.m. and there's this prayer call that pops up at 4:20ish. Between they don't even have a set time limit, y'all. A set time. It's like 4:20 to between 4:20 and 4:45. And so I've had to change my sleeping schedule so that it doesn't interrupt my sleep, because it's like, no offense to, when people say no offense, they mean offense, but I really don't mean any offense. Muslims think that people don't have their own alarm clock in their village. Like, why do you think that I need you to remind me to wake up and pray, or to wake up and tell God that hey God, I love you. Hey God, I'm over here. Or you got, like, that speaker for me is just an ego thing, because when the Muslim religion started, they didn't have loudspeakers. There was just someone announcing to the village, hey, it's time to pray. But for me, this is still a form of control, because it's like, I'm going to control what time you pray. I'm telling you, like, I know it's supposed to be something peaceful, it's supposed to be something beautiful, but it's intrusive, it's invasive, it's I don't know. I don't like that you are able to intrude upon people like that. Like, when I come into my meditation, when I come into prayer, when I'm in my devotion, I'm not announcing it to the world. It ain't for nobody else to know. It's between me and my higher self. Not, oh, look at what I'm doing over here, everybody else should do it too. Like, that should be a choice that I can tune into. It shouldn't be like, but like, no, I should be able to come to you and say, oh yes, I want to hear this. Anyway, I thought about like buying my own loudspeaker and like blasting my music and like, but I ain't gonna stoop to that level. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that. But please turn them damn speakers off. Turn them down, or at least play them at a reasonable hour. 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on now, y'all. It's very insensitive. And religion is supposed to be about being. Religion is supposed to teach you to be more compassionate and more sensitive to your neighbor and like love that neighbor. But this is more like, I don't really give a fuck that you can't sleep. I'm waking your ass up. I don't care if you just fell asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna wake you up at 4:30. Like, nah, that's why I can't fuck with religion, bro. Anyway, sorry, let me move on. I want to talk about toxic love, and then I'm gonna move on. Toxic love is like expired yogurt. Sometimes they just need that one last sniff to make sure, like, oh yeah, this is why I left. It's spoiled. This is a spoiled relationship. This relationship is definitely over. I'm definitely needing to throw this out. But if someone tells you they're going through a divorce, mind your business. Like, oh, okay, let me mind my business. Let me know when the final ink is signed and dried on that. Don't flirt. Don't comfort to her. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that. Like, nah, you're doing too much. Because couples in a breakup, they will reunite. I've seen a lot of married men be like, I'm leaving my wife, I'm leaving my wife. But they always, even my dad, when he left my mom, still to this day, comes back to like help her with stuff. Like, they are still really good friends. So, and I know he regrets that decision of leaving, but he didn't have anyone to advise him on how to fix the marriage. And then you have this woman in your ear, waiting around for the demise of your marriage instead of helping you and saying like, oh, try to work on your marriage, and then if it doesn't work, when your divorce is final, then come holler at me, right? I'll be here for you when you're done. Now, you didn't have that. You are going to be the villain in their story. So if a woman tells you she's getting a divorce, don't interfere. That man might still come back about five paragraph apology and scented candle. Look, baby, I'm sorry. And now you're just the plot twist nobody asked for. You just you are insignificant in the story now. Divorce, let the paperwork finish cooking. Don't sample the meal while the kitchen's still on fire. Like, what are you doing? Let it simmer down. Don't step up in there while the fire is still brewing. There's one thing that I cannot stand that my daughter and husband do. Like, when you are cooking something and you come and taste the food while I am still preparing it. It's not finished. I'm adding seasonings. I'm still doing stuff to it. Don't come in. Wait until I'm done. Wait until the food is done. How many of y'all like used to go in the kitchen when your mom or your parents cooking and be like, and like taste the chicken? My mom used to be like, don't wait until it's all done and eat all your food on one plate. And that's what I advise. Like, if you know somebody is going through a divorce, wait. Because that we're done might turn into we're still praying about it, we're going to church about it, we're going to go to counseling about it. You don't know. And now you didn't steal a man, you interrupted what could be a miracle. I don't feel like we talk about this now. I'm so tired of the side chick culture I'm tired of the, oh, he's going through a divorce, oh, she's going through divorce, and or oh, they're separated. Like, they're not separated so they can try out other people. They're separated so they can work on themselves to be better for each other. Story. Now, if they say we're separated, that means we're fighting, but we're still trying. We're fighting, but we're still sharing toothpaste. We're fighting, but we still live in the same house. We're fighting, but we're still taking care of these kids together. And you don't want that drama. Mind your business. I'm telling you, I'm trying to save you some heartache here, okay? Unless you like it. Unless you like that type. You toxic and you like that type of drama. Interfering with someone mid-divorce is like testing out a car, test driving a car. Car owner is telling you like, I'm still like not sure if I want to sell it yet, but you could test drive it. Nah, they're still emotionally attached to that car if they're unsure about selling it. They're gonna keep second guessing their decision and keeping you on the hook. You're gonna be left without a car but full of all the emotional mileage. I'm trying to help you. Don't tell a woman to pray for her abusive marriage or her abusive husband. The Power of a Praying Wife. Do you know how many times I read that book? Do you know how I tried to apply that book in my marriage? Do you know how, like, I know shade to the woman who wrote that book. I get it. Some things can be prayed through, but it's like you're trying to cast a spell on a human being who doesn't want to be changed. Like that is for them to want to change. If you have to pray for them to change, I feel like that's a spell. If you talk to them and they say, oh, I recognize that about myself, let me change it, that's different. That person is taking responsibility and ownership of what they are doing to affect their relationship. And they are mature in a way to say that, oh, let me work on that. Oh, let me fix that. Or let me do research on myself on how I can improve my marriage and be a better partner for my marriage, be a better business partner, be a better husband, spouse. But if you gotta pray for somebody to change, that ain't nothing but voodoo. There's nothing. I'm not no shade against voodoo because it heals. It can be used as healing. But I'm saying that you're casting spells at this point. You shouldn't have to pray over someone, or you shouldn't have to ask a higher being to change this person. They should be willing to change themselves when you ask them, this is affecting me. This is how it affects me. Are you willing to change? And if they recognize like, oh, dang, I didn't know I was doing that, then that's real, man. That's what you want. The narcissist. I'm gonna wrap up with the narcissist, I think. Yeah, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope you're enjoying this time with me, bro, because these are a lot of different topics that I talked about before, but because my videos were taken down, I feel like I can't move on until I repost this, and then I can get back to what I was doing. Like, I feel stuck, and I'm like, nah, you feel stuck because there's a section missing. They deleted something, and you need to put it back in place because somebody might need to hear this, and and it's not there, so I have to put it back. Okay, so let me raise some awareness about the narcissist, because they don't come with warning labels. They don't wear signs. In my musical, I joke, you gotta check out the musical, bro. It's nothing like, okay, right here is just, I'm just, talking and letting some stuff out, but the musical is okay, anyway, they come with charm and captions. I get so annoyed when I went to this pop. I used to watch Pop. Me and my daughter used to watch Pop the Balloon every Sunday. Actually, like more often than that, actually. And I actually was in a Pop the Balloon not by choice. If you ever see a video of me and Pop Balloon, know that I was not there by choice. First of all, I told the dude that I didn't want to do it. I wasn't interested in doing it. I told him over and over again, but he was, oh, I don't have anybody else, and making excuses about why he really, really needed me to be there. So I was like, all right, let me grab my home girl. We're gonna come through. I went to this bull crap, and he basically just wanted to put a bunch of women on display. to make it. I don't really know. I just felt uncomfortable. What is the word when you like lured? I felt lured into that situation. I was so pissed off. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't see how y'all can get up there and put yourselves on display like that. Like, what happened to old school dating? Like, I don't know. I don't like that pop the balloon. I like to watch it, though. It is interesting. So thank you to the people who do participate in it and find the confidence and courage to go up there and put yourself on display like that. I just can't do it. But one of the things that I cannot stand in pop the balloon is when the participants get asked what their biggest flaw is, and they would say stuff like, "Oh, I think I care too much. I'm too nice." That's not a flaw, sir. I'm too nice. That's not a flaw. That's not what they mean. Now, I would say like, "Oh, I should be more assertive," or I don't know, but I care too much. Sir, about who? Yourself? Narcissists cannot identify their flaws. So here's how you can identify a narcissist. And if you are with one, how to escape, evacuate quick, find the nearest escape route. They don't listen. They wait to talk. Everything is a performance with a narcissist. Like, and that's why I could never date an actor. It's like actors, they can't turn that shit off. They still be acting when they get home, or that's how I feel. Like, are you still acting? Are you still pretending to be nice when you're not? Don't confront it. You don't break up with a narcissist. You evacuate. You find the nearest escape route and you evacuate. You don't need to say this isn't working. You don't need to say, I mean, you can say this, I'm tired. Finish. And disappear like a prepaid SIM card. Because narcissists don't lose relationships, they lose control. And baby, control withdrawal is loud. They don't miss you, they miss access to you. And the moment you start healing, suddenly you're cold, changed, ungrateful. Nah, I just stopped auditioning for your trauma series. So if they make everything about them, never apologize but expect forgiveness, rewrite reality, and gaslight like it's a candle business, run. Not with drama, with strategy. Not through prayer. We're not staying in relationships no more and praying about it. We're going to stop giving that advice. With peace. With block buttons and holy water. Okay? And remember, you're not crazy. You are just no longer compatible with manipulation. It doesn't, it's just not in alignment with you anymore. We're not doing that no more. Remember, a narcissist doesn't want love. They want a fan club with loyalty. That they don't really give a shit about you. They just want your constant. While you're in this situation, you don't argue with a narcissist. You unsubscribe. Just, okay. Dating a narcissist is like hugging a cactus and apologizing for bleeding. They don't just gaslight you. They install new realities. You know something was like this, and then it ends up like, nah, that's not how I remember the story going. So that's why a lot of times I write things down. I text instead of just having a conversation, because people will come back to you and say, oh, remember you said this? Remember you said that? No, I didn't say that. And that in itself is manipulation, emotional manipulation. So be careful with that. Go back and check out my archive playlist, because I discuss a lot of topics that maybe you won't agree with, but they will spark your interest. I wanted to just show y'all what the difference of some water and releasing all of that, because I told you I was feeling stuck because I created those videos and they were taken down, and they're really like, I wanted those to be a part of my archive, my to know my thought process on how I got here. And so I was like, dang, my hair is looking dusty from being on them dirt roads and all that dust. And now I've washed my hair. I need to deep condition it though. But look, my little curls have come back to life back, and my hair has like dropped. And yeah, it's okay. So now I just need to deep condition it, and I'm gonna retwist. Okay, you hear this owl? This owl is snoring like shit. I ain't never heard no owl hoot like this.